Leeway could be 1.4 million.
Yeah, tax free.
You know?
Crazy, eh? Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Scooters and Scoreboards podcast. For those of you who have just joined us, my name is Chris. I've got Dave alongside me. Dave, mate, as usual. Thanks for coming in.
All good, mate.
Things are going to be a bit different tonight, guys. Obviously, I've had some issues with the little mic we had. I don't know what's going on, but one of them doesn't seem to be connecting, so we'll be just using one. And yeah, we'll see how we go. But look, a bit to touch base on tonight. A big shout out to our sponsor, JP Property Maintenance. As always, it wouldn't be possible. This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for our sponsor, who does great things. Also to our fans and followers out there on all our platforms. Thanks as always for tuning in. And guys, if you do want to see us put up some stuff on Spotify, let me know. I'm still trying to work out that, and I don't want to be putting them up there if we're not getting anything. Time I don't really have. But this obviously we enjoy. But look, without further ado, there's a lot to go touch base on. I'm going to hand this straight over to Dave quickly. Look, Dave, we're in round 9, Friday, 6 p.m. Your doggies against the Cowboys at Acol Stadium. Give us your thoughts quickly before we touch base on the squad.
I don't know, mate. They need to step up this week. Yeah, you're gonna know every game's a tough game every round this league. And it's football's hard to pick.
100%.
Even though I'm on top, but there's upsets every week. Upsets every week.
It's been very hard to pick too.
Like, you can't pick them. Yeah.
Like you look at last week's games. Like I picked 4 and you picked 7.
Yeah.
Your doggies upset you with that loss.
I know. I know. Yeah.
Cost you the perfect round, but you still hold first on the tipping board.
At the moment. Still 18 rounds to go in there, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
18.
Yeah,
something like that. Long way to go. So.
Well, look, let's get into it. The Bulldogs, they kick off their round 9 squad with Kikau obviously being replaced by Sitili Tupanua. Kikau's out with a pec injury.
See how long?
Nah, not yet. I think they're still waiting on scans. I haven't heard nothing.
Yeah.
I'd expect to know by Thursday, Friday at the latest. Haven't heard nothing as of yet. Obviously, being that type of injury, you need I'd say they need like ultrasound scans because it's muscle and whatnot. So,
what about the other two? Did they get charged?
Who's that for the
Critter and Burton?
Yeah, I think they only cop fines. I think, but we'll go for that. We'll go for that towards the end because I've got it there. But as I was saying, obviously Kikau's been replaced by Sitili Tupanua. Josh Curran has been added to the bench.
That's where he stays.
Yeah. And Yuari Tuala returns to the wing, which pushes Marcelo Montoya to the bench also.
Oh, that's a good move too, because he's been very quiet.
Very, very defensive liability, I'm saying, I reckon.
And Butterfingers, he can't hold the ball. So
exactly.
Lately,
right.
But so.
Harry Hayes, out with the suspension, sees Lipoi Hopoi into the squad. Sean O'Sullivan is listed in the reserves as well. I'd expect him. I think he'll come into the squad before kickoff. I honestly do. I think because obviously the way the squad is, I'd expect O'Sullivan to come in as that second phase player like the Eels do with Dylan Walker. So a bit different there from the Doggies. But
and as I said, if they don't step up, Cowboys is going to put points on us. Any team will. Like Parramatta and Brisbane has the last couple of weeks. Yeah. And after knocking top team off, it's funny. It's hard to pick. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. As for the Cowboys, Zach Laybutt comes to the wing to cover Murray Talangi, who's out with a concussion. I'm pretty sure he's out for 2 weeks. Yeah. Jeremiah Nene is named in the starting squad with Thomas McKaylee on the bench. Same thing. I'd expect that to change come game day. I think McKaylee will get put into the squad over Nene. Nene comes off the bench for a bit more impact. As for the rest of the squad, Mason Barber is aiming for an NRL debut from the 6-man bench. So, not good luck to him. Hopefully, he gets out there and shows the Cowboys why he's pushing for a starting spot.
Yeah.
But look at the stats, Dave. This is a new thing we've been doing. Obviously, I've got a bit of intel. Well, not intel. Like I had someone reach out and say, why don't you put this in towards the podcast? So Mate, if you're watching, here it is. We'll do this each and every week. Apparently, it helps them out with their punting side of things.
Yeah.
As always, guys, remember, gamble responsibly with that. Obviously, you lose more than you win, unfortunately.
You take your own team and normally lose.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Looking at the stats, obviously, Bulldogs have conceded 70 points and have made 27 errors in 2 games. That's got to change. You got to tighten up your defense. Start of the season, they were. Serrato was saying they're a defensive team, and these last 2 weeks, well, where's it been? Especially against 2 squads that have had injuries the way they've had.
Yeah, I know.
That's
the way they
call.
The way they played last year, but like it had 27 errors in the whole year. Like the way they were playing.
Yeah,
they had the best defensive side last year.
Yeah, I think it comes down to lack of leadership and organisation on the field. Big time. But obviously, being at Acor Stadium, the Dogs have only won 1 out of 5 games. Cows have won 4 out of 6 against the Doggies. And as we just touched base on, Doggies ranked 16th in attack. So, look, they got to change something here. As we said, our opinion, we think it's more along the lines of the leadership sort of role between Burton and Galvin. I think that needs to change to allow other players to do their job. So
that's it. They all need to do their job. Yeah.
Are you tipping your Doggies?
Yeah, I'm going to take them this week, but I'm going to take them.
Do they get you 7 from 8 again?
Well, I don't know. As I said, I was going to take a lot of different tips this week to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's going to be do or die if I break through on my strange tips this week. I might put me a lot higher. Yeah. Lot higher than.
Yeah. A lot more further in front.
Yeah. Further in front. But if not, we're going down. So
yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
As you said, you can't pick it.
Nah. That's wild. Again, Friday night, 8 p.m. at Suncorp Stadium, Dolphins versus the Melbourne Storm. Pardon me. Dolphins coming to this one with Jack Bostock on the extended bench as he aims to return from injury since round 16 last year. So, look, I've got high raps on him. I think he's
a good player.
Great player. Yeah. I think
going to help more tips.
I think adding him to the squad on that edge is going to really boost the Storm there. Whether he passes his fitness test, I think he will. I think he comes out. I think he plays. Geez, pardon me. As for Kurt Donahue, he's also been named in the reserves as he looks to return from injury. Jake Averillo picked up that hand injury, so Trey Fuller has been handed to the centre. Brad Schneider at 5'8". Morgan Knowles comes in at lock from a calf injury. Oren Keeley, has been added to the bench. And Lewis Simmons holds his place also. As for the Melbourne Storm, the winless Melbourne Storm at the moment, Tyron Wishart. Sorry. He takes over for Jerome Hughes, who's out with that concussion. Hugo Peel named to debut on the wing. Congrats to him. Joe Chan. That's how you pronounce it now, apparently. Joe Chan. It's not Khan, it's Chan.
Oh, yes.
Joe Chan, Cooper Clark, Trent Liero, they all go to the bench, bringing in Sean Bloor, Alec McDonald, and Atavalu Lasardi to place in the starting squad. So a bit of a Bellamy did come out. He did say things were going to move around, and they have. And Trent Salau has been added to the interchange, aiming for his NRL debut. As we said, Bellamy did say he was going to come out and going to make some changes. Are these the right changes?
Yeah, well, that's it.
My opinion, I don't think they are.
No.
My opinion, it's not the forwards, it's the problem, it's the halves.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah. So,
100% it's the halves.
Yeah. Wishart good on his day, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs to, I don't know, he needs to use his shoes and do a lot better.
Yeah.
What they have been, so.
Yeah. I also think Wishart, in my opinion, I think Wishart adds that little bit of a, not so much X factor, but different playing style to Melbourne. Yeah. So I think they'll benefit off that, where like everyone's so used to Melbourne coming out with their just attack that they come out with this week. I think they're going to come out just with that little bit more of a organised sort of attack. So, look, they're on the verge of their worst losing streak in 28 years. Obviously on 6 straight losses at the moment, and they're leaking 100. They've leaked 162 points in 4 games. So I think that's massive.
I've got them down for 7 on a trot loss.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Finns.
I think they're in a bit of trouble, the Melbourne Storm. Yeah. You know, like as we said before, Munster, he's not doing too well. He's trying his hardest, but nothing's working. And Grant, I don't know what's going on.
Harry Grant,
he's been off the last month. The first month he was good. He was brilliant. And now he's just fallen off.
He played a blinder when they put 50 on Para.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In the start of the season.
Yeah.
And the first couple of games even. He's always in the limelight.
But looking at the stats here, bit of a positive sign for Melbourne. They have won 5 from 6 without Hughes playing.
Yeah.
And as for the Finns, Hammer has scored 15 tries in 11 games at Suncorp, which is massive. Yeah. And Herbie Farnworth has scored a try in his last 3 games. So I think
he'll be getting another one.
I think it's going to come down to. I don't think it's going to be a edge game with speed. I think it's going to be a middle game. So look, Finns. Well, they've lost the last couple of games. Tight. So
very tight. Yeah, they're due for a win.
Like I say, 3rd time's a charm. So.
And I think Melbourne's due for another loss.
Well, there you go. There you go, guys. You've heard it here first. If you're a Melbourne Storm, we do not apologise.
We both
hate Melbourne. We hate Melbourne. But good luck. Let us know your thoughts. Look, moving on. Super Saturday hits this week, and in a big way. 3 p.m. we head to Seabus Super Stadium. The Titans versus the Raiders. For the Titans, AJ Brimson returns to the centres, so Jalen de Groot goes to the interchange. Chris Randall's back on deck, so Cooper Bye goes to the bench. As for the Raiders, the minor premiers of last year, Simi Sasangi back and goes to the back row for Zach Hosking, who's out with a concussion. Ata Mariota, had to get that one out. He comes into the back row for Noel Martin, who's having surgery on both his ankles.
Yeah.
Jeez. Chevy Stewart is on the bench, and Jordan Utah is on the extended bench as well.
For the Raiders.
So a bit different there. But look at the stats. Titans, their home games haven't really had many wins. 4 from 13 over the last 2 seasons. And they have not defeated Raiders at home since 2018. Look, both of these squads, I think they need to try and work out their attacking structures here. Titans averaging just 21 points per game, and Raiders only averaging 19 points per game. But they've both just had really, really sloppy attack. Too many errors. Too little discipline.
They've had a few good games, but I reckon they're due to be on the winners list. The Raiders.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
And a big shout out to Bo Fermel. He makes his 100th NRL appearance, so hopefully he can hold on to the ball. Hopefully. But look, we've said it before. It's a broken record, but Raiders ill-disciplined. They've got to tighten up a little bit. Now they've just lost Martin, and he's been playing exceptional for him. As for the Titans, they've got to find some sort of mojo. You're back at home, you'd expect them to do more, but I just can't see this being the game.
No, that's it.
Anything else you want to touch base on that one, Davo?
No, I got my tip in my head already, but so I reckon the Raiders are due for another win. But so
there we go. Moving on, Saturday, 5:30 p.m. at CommBank Stadium, the Eels versus the Warriors. For the Eels, no changes to the squad with Dylan Walker named on the extended bench. He's obviously got to pass the captain's run.
Say shoulder's all right, is it?
Yeah. I think it was more probably just like a niggle. I mean, with a shoulder injury, you can always need. With some certain injuries, you can needle them up. You can take painkillers. Look, if I'm being the Eels, I'm not risking him. I'm keeping him out and just bringing up another younger fella in the squad. Obviously, the Warriors, their forward pack at the moment is just lethal. I think the Eels are going to struggle in this one.
I think Parramatta needs to, they need to step up a bit because the way the Warriors have been.
Yeah.
So Parramatta had a few good games, as you know, and but I think the way the Warriors have been playing, but Parramatta need to
I think the biggest thing for them last week was, like, I know they've had injuries all season and whatnot, but last week when they versed Manly, they were, for the first 10, 15 minutes, they were digging in, they were holding on, they were doing good, but then it just come down to the fact that they obviously they had Ione come off for HIA, which hurt them.
And plus,
sorry, was it Ione?
And Parramatta had to put points on quick. Too, and a lot of points because.
Sorry, it wasn't Ione. It was Papali'i. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, well, they proved it against Panthers. Yeah. Even though Panthers beat them that time, but they still put 20 on the front runners.
Yeah.
They put
100%
points on that quick. And easy.
And they're a team to do it too. Like they've got a lot of strike power out there. Parramatta, like, you know, I know they've got a lot of young fellas and whatnot. You know, DeBellin starting. I get it. I think that changes come half. I think that changes closer to the game. If Dylan Walker is fit, I think DeBellin will go back to the bench. But you know, it's like bring round 9. A couple of their other fellas ain't due back till like between round 11 and round 13.
How many's got 2 back this week? Number 2?
No. They're probably being rested a bit. I know Nanva's been named in the extended squad, so maybe he gets a shot in over Kelly. Maybe, I don't know. I won't know until later, obviously. But in this game, I wouldn't be rushing anybody back. I know we're at home, but the way the Warriors are playing, their forward pack is just relentless. And you know, our boys, the Eels haven't got the biggest forward pack. We'll just touch base on the Warriors quickly, and then we'll get to the stats. Luke Metcalf has been named on the interchange, aiming to return from injury. So I don't know. If I'm the Warriors, I'm not doing that. I'm not bringing him in yet. You know, they're doing good as it is. I wouldn't be rushing him back. Adam Pompey comes to the centres. Tanner Stowers-Smith back from injury and slots in for Mitch Barnett, who's out with a head knock. So a big loss there. Tamaria Martin is listed amongst the reserves also and aiming to return from injury. Looking at the stats, obviously, the Warriors are aiming for 3 wins in a row. They're sitting inside the top 4. They're comfy. Best spot I've seen them sit in since last year.
That's it.
And this time they're holding on to it, which is good. As for the Eels, they're on a win-loss run at the moment. They need a win here to be away from the bottom. They've obviously won 6 from 7 against the Warriors. But as for the Warriors, they're playing their 400th NRL game in Australia, which is big for them. And the Eels, they rank 17th in defence, conceding 35 points per game. So, look, I'm not writing them off, but I'm not confident considering the way things went last week. Obviously, our errors, we need to tighten up the error count. You know, the 6 again penalties last week, they were a bit substantial, but they need to look at it where if we come out and play the way we did for the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, we play like that and we get points on and head into the lead at half-time by, I'm going at least 8 points at half-time.
Even like they did
we can hold it. Yeah, exactly right. We can hold it. But the Eels are the type of squad this year where, like, it's been for a while where if they're down, they get desperate. They do silly passes. They don't play the momentum game. They just try to rush things. There's a lot of young fellas in there. They're still learning. I get that, but this game's a game where it could get ugly really fast. If they don't tighten up. So we'll see how that one goes. Any thoughts on that one, Davo?
I just reckon it's going to be a good game. I reckon it's going to be a good game myself. But I reckon they'll come out a bit stronger than last week. Because Moses a bit quiet last week, I reckon.
He'd won an Origin spot, so you think he'd be trying to tell the boys
kick your feet up.
He
only got a couple more weeks to prove himself too.
Yeah, what, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
All
But
right.
I reckon it's going to be a tight game. It's if Borough, whoever's leading at half time, I reckon they'll take it.
Yeah.
They'll take it. Yeah, so
100%. All right, moving on. 7:35 at Allianz Stadium. Roosters versus the Broncos. Roosters line up with the same squad this week after the thrashing they put on the after the thrashing they put on the
Walker,
Dragons last week. As for the Broncos, a couple of boosts here for the Broncos. Reece Walsh, our favourite, he's back from the injury. I was waiting on that.
Percy.
He's back from injury, as well as Pat Carrigan, who returns from suspension. Hayes Perham goes to the extended bench in the expense of Walsh coming back. Jesse Arthurs is also back from injury. All Black's Taha, if that's how I pronounce it, he makes a return from the extended bench, replacing Preston Ricky. Carrigan at lock. Xavier Willison moves to the second row for Brendan Piakura. Looking at the stats, obviously the Roosters, they're on a 4-game winning streak with the halves leading the games. 167 points attack in the past month. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's 40 points per week.
Yeah. Even though they only played down the 12 sides from the Dragons, but last week. But,
100%.
But Walker's showing, how good he is.
Oh yeah,
in the halves.
He's doing really well.
He's a good player.
Him and Cherry Evans are doing good.
Yeah, even Cherry. Yeah, even Alana Ferguson. She noted that last night.
Yeah,
and I thought you're right there. You're right there. Because he is playing. He's playing a bit better now.
But this will be the game.
Quiet.
He was.
Season.
Obviously, warming into the position, and I don't know if club will do that to you. But
he's not back to his best.
Nah,
but
Walker, age is a factor, I think.
But Walker's unreal.
He'd be learning off Cherry Evans 100%. Anything that goes on each week will be off the back of Cherry Evans' mind 100%.
Yeah. The way the halves are going this year, I reckon, like Cleary's, we showed you. Cleary's like. Yeah. And he had a quiet one against the Dogs, but they're all human. They all have quiet games, good games, bad games. Few errors and all that. Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
but Walker's he's one of the best halves this year so far. Him and Cleary, I reckon. So,
But obviously, as for the Roosters, they've won 6 from 8 against the Broncos, and Broncos have won the last 3 games by 4 points or less. So, look, this one's going to be very entertaining. Obviously, Broncos did over the Tigers, and now they're obviously heading into the Roosters.
The Dogs.
Sorry, they did the Dogs. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, they only played the Bulldogs.
See, I forgot that one. But now they're heading into the Roosters, who just come off a mammoth start against the who the Roosters take last week.
Dragons.
That's right.
Yeah.
See,
12-year-olds.
Yeah, 12-year-olds. Yeah. That's been nice.
But it's sad.
No offense to 12-year-olds, but
sorry, Dragon supporters. But
now we're going to head to Sunday, where things are a little bit different. Me and Dave sat around on Sunday last week and tried to work out why this was. We will touch base on this shortly. Why there's no Thursday night game. A bit upsetting, but we're happy to adapt the change. Triple header Sunday at 2 p.m. McDonald Jones Stadium. Knights versus Raiders in Sunday. So the Knights coming to this one. Kalen Ponga, Bradman Best, and Greg Marju are all back on deck. Fletcher Sharp goes to 5'8", and Sandon Smith moves to the interchange with Fletcher Hunt. Tyson Frizzell also returns from a rib injury from the bench, so Cody Hopwood drops out. So to Tyson Frizzell and his wife, I've seen that TikTok Frizzell's wife put up. Frizzell's sitting on the couch. He's watching the game from home. Obviously injured. Yeah. And he looks so stressed. He looks so stressed.
Yeah.
When
you see that.
That was crazy. It was crazy. As for the Rabbitohs, Keon Kalao-Matangi has been named to replace Brandon Smith in the second row, who is listed in the reserves with a calf issue. Obviously trying to race the clock to be fit. They think he'll back up, but we'll see what happens. Jamie Humphries has been named in the halves despite the rib injury, the rib issue complaints last week. And Liam LeBlanc and Mawala Graham, if I pronounce that right.
For sale.
Tuafa, yeah, are on the extended bench. Yeah. So, and as for the stats, geez, my nose is blocked. Unbelievable. As for the stats, these squads are two very good squads at the moment, good attacking squads.
Very good.
Like head to head, I think this game's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah.
Dylan Brown returning to the Knights, it adds another another level of attack.
Yeah.
Because he's a type of running. He's a runner, and it showed last week.
Yeah.
But as for Latrell, look, I'll say it now. He is the most informed player.
Oh yeah.
In the comp at the moment, he's playing some great footy.
Yeah.
And the Knights, well, they've lost 3 against the Bunnies. Latrell scored 66 points in the last 4 games.
Yeah.
And the Knights have conceded 124 points in their last 3. So
yeah, I think Latrell can add to that.
Yeah, I think he will. Look, Marju, Best are big components.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But the way Latrell's playing, mate, like
I know. Yeah.
You know, he's playing unbelievable. He's making that that Origin jersey his own.
This time last year, they were 2 from the bottom.
Yeah, 100%.
And most of the year, second, third, fourth from the bottom. That's it.
But see, they were in the same situation that Parramatta's in this year, where their injury toll just took a massive hit to the club.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
And you know, this year with the way the Bunnies are, with all their a lot more players back than what they had last year, and that it proves your team needs to be fit and firing, and players need to stand up to be a chance of taking that next step. Pardon me. Look, we'll move on. 4:05 p.m. Ocean Protect Stadium. Sharks vs Tigers. The Sharks come to this one with Cam McInnes. He comes into the starting squad. Britton Okora comes into the back row with Billy Burns going with interchange. Braden Urelli on the interchange. I'd expect him to come in. I just got it. You can't leave him out. If you're Sharky, you're not leaving him out. As for the Tigers, a bit of a reshuffle here. Sonia Taruva, he goes to the fullback role for Jerome Buller, who's out with a shoulder injury. Gerald Skelton comes to the wing. Api Coruscant is suspended, sees Tristan Hope take his place. Kai Pearce-Paul replaced by Tony Sakar. Farletino, if that's how I pronounce it. Savannah, he comes onto the interchange with Latu Fainu. And that's it for that one. The stats, look at the stats. The Sharks defense needs to tighten up this week against the Tigers. 100% after last week's 46 to 34 loss. Like, that's 80 points in a game. I know half of that's Cowboys.
They're worse than us at the moment, even though they're in 9th, we're in 10th.
Yeah.
But they're one ahead of us.
It's crazy.
But I'm tipping them this week, but they're due for a win.
And as
the Tigers are... Oh, I'm sorry, mate.
No, you're right, go on.
Look at the form the Tigers are in. Look where they're sitting and look where they're playing.
Well, we'll touch base on that now. Like, you look at the Tigers, they've got the best defence record in the comp so far. Even after their 1 point loss to the Broncos in round 7. They came back 33-14 over the Raiders. Adam Dewey, he's just in some great form, and he's playing with a lot of confidence in his game. As for the Sharks, they've won their last 5 against the Tigers at Ocean Protect Stadium. But also they've won 9 from 10 at home. So it's going to be a good game.
I reckon. As I said, I'm taking an upset, but I'm taking Sharks this week. But
I think
they're due for a win.
I think the reshuffle with the reshuffle with the Tigers, a bit of a worry. Like, Buller's been a big part of their
and Coruscant
attack. And Coruscant as well.
He's out for 3 weeks, isn't he?
Which is a big loss to their directional player on the field.
But then again, Luai, as you said, I mean, the halfback, tall skinny one, Dewey. He's playing good football.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. He's playing well.
But
obviously there is big news out of there, but we'll touch base on that shortly as well. Out of the Tigers.
Yeah.
Well, not out of Tigers, out of somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's doing the rounds. But we'll touch base on that in a second. Hang on, give me a second. I think I missed something here. Sorry. Oh no, there it is. Moving on, 6:15 p.m. Combank Stadium, Panthers versus Manly Seagulls. Honestly, I think this game is going to be the game of the round.
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah. They've saved the best to last. Obviously, look at the Panthers. They going with the same squad. From last week. Yeah. And as for Manly, Corey Waddell picked up the pec injury last week. Jeez, that's a tongue twister. So Nathan Brown gets the call up. He'll come into the squad. Blake Wilson and Jackson Sherrod are listed in the reserves with Joey Walsh. So Corey Waddell, a bit of a loss in the middle there. Nathan Brown coming in. I don't know. I think
he's getting old now.
I think they could have done a bit. Yeah, they could have picked someone else. I think to me, Nathan Brown's a bit of a he's ill-disciplined.
Yeah.
He likes to throw the odd high shot. Or he's a bit lazy, and when it comes to running back into the line. But I think against a fast-paced Penrith squad, this game's going to be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. Manly's been good under 1-4 on the trot under Forum. But then again, it's as we know, it's not the coach, it's the players in the field. Yeah. But the way Panthers have been always, poor old doggies beat them.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Dave loves that, guys. He's over the moon about that.
I was lucky I got him that week, eh?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
But and you can't, anyway.
Dave loves the doggies beating Panthers as much as
that was good,
it was doggies.
It was good, yeah. So, but I don't think Manly's, way Manly played in the last 4 weeks, as you said. They played well last week, but Parramatta was off.
They still let the Eels put points on them, man.
Parramatta was off. Parramatta weren't.
Well, Parramatta
the normal side.
Yeah, and Parramatta they lost their fullback for HIA, and a player wasn't sent to the bin. I don't know how that works. It's inconsistencies, well done refs. But then you look where they also had Dylan Walker come off as well with that shoulder injury, so they lost a big part of their a massive part of their attack. Yeah. And then they've got this thing where they locked down. I should have touched base on this before. I don't know why I didn't. This flu's got me going berserk, but they got this thing. Ronald's got this thing where he likes to swap the hookers around. Yeah. If you're doing that, you're changing the directional play of your squad. Like, it's silly. He needs to pick one, stick with it. But
stick with it. Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of the reason why Manly did what they did last week. Like, you got to pick a hooker and stay with the hooker because, like, Manly got big players and they've got a decent amount of speed in their squad. Yeah. But I just think coming up against Panthers this week, they're going to need to be on their A game because they made a few errors last week as well, Manly. Yeah, well,
they are due. They're due for a loss. Panthers are due for a loss too. But I think they're going to be a bit stronger.
Yeah. Talking about foreign, obviously, in my opinion, I think Manly needs signing one long-term coaching deal.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
Since he's been there, obviously they've had 5 wins straight.
Yeah.
4 wins straight, isn't it?
Yeah.
4 wins straight, not 5. Yeah. Not bad.
That's more than the Dragons.
Yeah.
Dragons.
Dave's on fire.
7 into the last 7. We can't go to bed. They're playing the bye.
Who do you reckon? And we'll come back to this one here in a minute. Yeah. Who do you reckon gets more losses this year, Melbourne or Dragons?
I know. Hopefully, don't get me wrong. Hopefully Melbourne does, but I can't see it. But they're going to have a win, surely.
Would you think if they lose this week?
Yeah.
Like the Dragons have got the bye.
Yeah, I know.
If they lose this week, Dragons are only 2 points off them.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah.
So imagine if the Dragons come out and beat Melbourne.
That'd be the battle with a wooden spoon. But hopefully, don't get me wrong. Hopefully, not a Sydney team, I don't. Hopefully, a Melbourne, like not the Sydney team. I'd rather Melbourne get their wooden spoon.
Yeah. Oh man, they need one surely. Yeah, that's something a bit different in your cabinet.
Yeah. Every team's been there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, looking back at this this game at the stats, Manly have won. Panthers have won 9 from 11 against Manly. Yeah. Manly have won 3 from 3 away so far this season. Garrick has scored 8 from 8 at Combank. Yeah. And as always, a shout out to Jack Cogger, who makes his 100th NRL appearance. Yeah. So I'm going to go Cogger. I'm going to go Cogger for a meat pie.
Yeah.
I'm going for a meat pie with tomato sauce.
See that Garrick? It's Combank, but that's Parramatta's home oval too. But,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I don't know.
I can't wait till Penrith piss off, mate. They're doing me in. Get out of Parramatta.
If they had Tommy Turbo in and a few others in the squad,
it might be a bit.
Go for an upset.
Yeah.
Maybe close to an upset. But, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say, but Panthers are playing well.
Yeah.
So then,
Origin around the corner, the boys are going to want to shine to get that extra pay back.
Yeah, Manly has to be on their game like Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Score early.
Yeah.
Score points early.
Yeah.
And hold that lead.
I just think Penrith's defense is going to be too strong.
Yeah.
Like, what was the score last week? The Panthers and whoever they versed again?
Knights.
Yeah. I think Knights still put a couple of points on.
40.
12, 18 or something? I can't remember. I cannot remember.
Close to 40, wasn't it? 42 something?
Yeah, something like that.
42, 8, yeah, something like that. So yeah. But
we're going to touch base on something else now. That's the round 9 games. This is why me and Dave couldn't work out why there was no Thursday night game this week. But welcome back to the women's footy, New South Wales versus Queensland women's state of origin. We are going to do a preview on that on Thursday, guys, because the game is on Thursday night. We're going to do a quick early one. If you want to see us do the women's NRL this year, please let us know in the comments. Like, share, and follow us as always. But let us know in the comments. We will make this as a short. Also, so for those who are a bit more interested in the women and the men's, that's completely understandable. But look, the women's state of origin comes back, proves the women's NRL is not far off. Yeah, it gives us something to be a little bit more excited about. Your thoughts, Davo? What can we expect with these two squads when they come in on Thursday?
I reckon it's going to be. I reckon I'm taking our Blues, obviously.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else, but the way these girls play,
yeah,
some of these hits and all that. But I reckon they could beat the Dragons at the moment.
Yeah, probably. And even in half the time.
Yeah.
There you go. Dave's shitting on the Dragons. He's loving it. All right, let's touch base on the judiciary. Judge Judy has come out and she's spoken. As always, we had the judiciary, inconsistent calls and a lot of revenue collecting, as we call it here in New South Wales. As for the Tigers, Abby Coruscant has been hit with a 3-week ban for a hip drop tackle. And whatever else he was charged for.
Yeah.
Fanua Pole has been fined for a shoulder charge.
Is he?
Tigers,
yeah.
Yep. The Raiders, Corey Horsburgh, that's how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Horsburgh. He has been charged with a careless high tackle and has been fined. Now, I have not put the amount through these because I'm just sick of reading the numbers and whatnot for it because it's all inconsistent and it's all just stupid the way they do these bloody fines and crap.
So some players get fines and
others get it's stupid.
I know Coruscant he got 3 weeks for 2 charges.
Yeah, he did.
He got 10 minutes, didn't he?
10 in the bin, yeah. To me, the 10 in the bin should be put down as
a week or 2. Simple.
Yeah. It should be taken a week off at least. Like you're done wrong. You're serving 10. You're serving 3 weeks.
And I'll wait till you get to the doggies when you come to them. Or something else.
As for the Dragons, Luciano Leilua is on a 1-match ban for dangerous contact.
But he has to. So the buy's got nothing to do with it. So
so he'll
serve the next game.
Yeah.
So he'll for another loss. So,
he'll sleep this week and then he'll miss the next anyway.
Hopefully I get another bye this week. Because that's a big. He's a big. It's a big loss for the Dragons. So.
Yeah, a little bit. He's a good player. I don't rate him highly though.
Yeah,
I don't. As for the Broncos, Preston Rookie is serving a 1-game ban for a high shot as well. And Manly, I like Karatu. He's free to play.
Yeah, against. Oh,
yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah, so should have got something.
After 2 grade 1 charges, he cops fines.
Yeah, no.
Come on.
Yeah.
As for the Eels, Talon De Silva, and I don't like this one either. Talon De Silva has been fined for a dangerous throw.
Yeah.
Being obviously, I think it's a first offence. Yeah. So he'll pay that one and make the money back the next week.
Yeah.
As for the Storm, Nick Meaney has been fined for a dangerous contact as well.
Yes.
There's a lot of these, man. This is crazy. The Warriors, Chanel Harris-Tavita has been fined for dangerous contact. For the Cowboys, Ruben Cotter has been fined for careless high shot and dangerous contact. So,
So you should have got 1 week at least for 2 charges.
Yeah.
The same game.
And you got Paul Coruscant serving 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Reid Marnie, contrary conduct, fined.
Yeah.
Sharks, Billy Smith, dangerous contact, fined. Broncos, Ezra Mann, tripping, fined. Bulldogs, Matt Burton, dangerous throw, and Stephen Crichton, tripping, all got a fine.
See,
but here you go. This is going to hang on. This is going to tickle. This is going to tickle your hairs on your back. Harry Hayes, tripping, 1 week ban. Like, come on, bro.
See, being a Bulldog supporter.
That grinds my gears.
That Broncos player,
Ezra Mann.
He got the other one got 1 week. Didn't you say earlier Broncos?
No. Broncos, Ezra Mann, we got done for tripping.
Yeah. He got fined.
Fine, yeah.
Didn't the Broncos player get 1 week?
No, it was it wasn't that. It was go through what we're hearing on.
Yeah.
Preston Rookie, 1 game for a high shot.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Broncos. Yeah, sorry. I've had Broncos here twice. Sorry.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's a high shot. He got 1 game ban.
1 game ban, but this you watched the game. I'll watch the game with you anyway.
Yeah.
Me being a Bulldog supporter.
Yeah.
Burton, that was on his head.
Yeah.
And he should have got a week.
Yeah.
And he should have got a bin.
Well, you got Crichton and Mann all fined for tripping.
Yeah.
But Harry Hayes, 1 week.
Yeah.
For tripping. Like, it's the same fucking thing.
They're keeping the better players in. The big name players in.
Yeah. And this is what it comes down to. Like, and we talk about this weekly, and this is where, and Benji Marshall's even come out and he said he's sick of the refs and their inconsistencies. He's just as confused as the players are now. But this stuff where it's like that right there, players are being fined for tripping, but then another player does a tripping action and gets a ban. Well, I'd like to see Harry Hayes' rap sheet because I guarantee you that's got to be at least his first or second offence.
Oh yeah,
We watched that game.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there was no injuries, no nothing.
Yeah, no.
It's just I don't know, man.
But me being a Bulldog supporter, but I reckon. Sorry, Berto, but he should have got.
Well, the player went head first in the ground.
Yeah, he should have got 1 week, and he should have got sin bin.
Yeah.
Coruscant had a sin bin.
Exactly right, and that was for a hit drop.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway,
it grinds my gears. It's all we can say on here.
Yeah.
I say, guys, get your thoughts in on these refs and everything else, and these judiciaries and all that sort of stuff. It's always good to hear out, as well. If you do want to see us do more of this with the Women's League, we can. Obviously, it does make a bit more content, which we're not too worried about, but gives us something to be a bit more excited for. I think they kick off couple of months.
Yeah.
June or something to kick off.
Yeah.
So good to see. I'm going to try my best to get us both in here on Thursday for the women before the women's state of origin. I'll try and get a bit of a thing going up in here.
Yeah.
Obviously, depending how I go with this, obviously, sinuses are playing up.
Yeah.
But look, guys, that is going to be us. Unless Dave wants to touch base on anything else, anything ticking your brain, cut them up. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, no. Just one thing. Go to New South Wales.
Go. Oh, Dave, I thought he broke the light.
Oh, sorry.
Go do what you got to do. And I've actually got one more thing we're going to touch base on.
Yeah.
Give us 1 sec, guys. Davo's just had to bail. Got a visit. Got a He's got to let the faucet flow. But yeah, as we're saying, guys, once again, you want to see us try anything, you want to see us do anything, we can start going out to the local games with the juniors to see how the New South Wales juniors are doing and whatnot. Just get your opinions in, get your thoughts in. It's always good to have. We are going to try and do a little giveaway shortly. Obviously, not much we can do considering it's our first year, but your thoughts and your opinions are always 100% accounted for as usual. Here comes immediately broke a light. Yeah.
Wait for your tick.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, guys, just quickly, touching on the PNG Chiefs. Obviously, news out today. There's been a bit of speculation going around before we jump off quickly. Alex Johnson's going to PNG Chiefs.
First one to sign, eh?
Yeah. First one to sign. And Jerome Law has been spotted there.
Yeah, the weekend there with the family, with the private jet.
Yeah. Hang on. All right, guys, that's going to be us. Let us know your thoughts on that. We will touch base more on Thursday. I'm going to deal with something being called. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And as always, remember, this is our year.
And go the Blues. Good luck to the girls Thursday.